everyone, today we're gonna be playing I know I created a video about Dandy's World, but it was muted and the screen was wrong. So anyways, I don't really know if I should like flip the screen or whatever. I'm going to play, how about I'm just going to like play the strongest battlegrounds. And this is for people who just got into this game. I'm joining my private server, of course, because I have private server plus. Anyways. Hold on. Bro, I'm lagging. Anyways, let's just ride our scooter over there. Anyways, so first off, what you're going to do is go on to Hero Hunt. Click the sparkly thing or whatever, and go on Hero Hunter's Garu's monster form. Okay. Now, once you've done that, you need to get your ult. And this may take a long process. So I'm just going to give him ult myself, because it's going to take a long process. Anyways, what you're going to do is activate ult, right? Okay, now, what we're going to have to do is hit the first move, head to start. Faster, but no. Anyways, now you gotta get the dot. You can't miss on the first one. You can miss on the first one. I mean, you cannot miss on the first one, because if you miss on the first one, then you gotta wait for a few more seconds. Now, once you've done both those moves, you get Cosmic Garu. You up into the air and then you fall. This next one is so it's like you spawn a black hole and teleport in there, and then you start beating them with orbs and you punch them into the space along with these little and then you punch in front of the other side, and then you get the big explosion. So that's basically both of them. And if you want to know the other ones, then I'll show you the other ones. So I'm gonna reset. I ain't really got time to like do anything, so I'm just going to bring all instead. if you don't know about the normal move, here it is. Anyway, so the first one you've already seen, which is coming to this one. I missed, whatever. The second one is Great Fajin, and it's a charge up one. Without holding it, it's just this. But when you're holding it, it goes further instead. And does a little bit more damage. It's like a charge up. The next one is God Slayer. If you haven't, but if you did the first move and then the second and then the third move, you get the other one. But if you just use this one without the mark, this happens instead. Slam him to the ground. Now the fourth move is Sky Ripping Fist. So with this one, you pull out red and blue, which is for normal and monster Garu, and then you start beating him up and punch him in the air. But you can't miss on this. So if you miss on this, you have to like do it again. Start beating up with the red and blue, and then uppercut him, and then you grab the big black blue, and then start and then just kick him very far. Now, if you don't know the difference between the Great Fajin, when you don't hold, this is what it does. Oh wait, I guess I hold it right there. And if I go back to the, hold on, I can bring the dummy in. So, if you do it without holding, there's a difference. There's a difference. Wait, I didn't even hold. What? No, there's gotta be something. Yeah, so it goes like that, but then once you charge it up, you see when I didn't hold it and then I started, and then it just did that. It's like whenever you hold it, it just goes really far and pushes your enemy further. So those are the two differences. Now the next thing we have is the Child Emperor. Well, yeah. Tech Prodigy, the new one. Well, not so new anymore. That was back in 2025. And some of the time it was 2026. But mostly it was 2025. Well, Monster Guard was the newest one after that. Anyways, so the first one is Wemboon. Just showing this to people who didn't play this game in Roblox. The second one is Plasma Cannon. There's two forms. And if you like kill, you can also hold it, by the way. Anyways, Trinity Tear is this. There's a variant one. And then so you just pull out your spider thing and then just run at the enemy and pick him up and slam him into the ground. And then the fourth one is Twin Burst. So like you jump into the air while throwing a grenade at the bottom. Or whatever, an explosion at the bottom. And then once you're in the air, you hit them with an explosion again. And that's when the variant comes. When you use Twin Burst, you can use Trinity Tear and slam down on them. So here's the finishers. Some of them might require some other dummies. So I'm gonna turn this to the finisher. Finishers only. Okay, so Waboom. Once it explodes, three more of them appear. But instead they're blue. The next one is Plasma Cannon again. But you see, it changed. It's Railgun. Now, if you use this along with the... Now, if you use this if you use the Railgun, then this happens instead. It changes back into Plasma Cannon. Most of the time, the dummy... What the frick just happened? Most of the time, the dummies die. Now, Trinity Terror has also an official. The same thing, I guess. Trinity Terror has the same thing. Yes, it has the same thing as Plasma Cannon. It's called Tactical Storm. Like, so you just pull out a bunch. The thing just pulls out a bunch of weapons and then does a lot of damage. But for Twin Burst actually had like an old ability, but they replaced it. I forgot what the name was, but they replaced it. Anyways, there's no finisher for that. And here's the Iron Giant one. Here's the giant mech. A cool thing about the mech is that you can change. Is that you can like change your mech. You can change your mech colors. But it costs me at the end, I don't know. That's a cool thing. Anyway, so we have these M1s. First one you explode, and then I guess you stop. And then you jump and hit them with a slam. And then you slash them with a sword. Yeah. So this one is Photon Edge. That's what it's called. I think I need to turn off that. I think I need to turn off shift lock. Shift lock toggle. Oh, there we go. Yes, okay. So here's the first one. You use a sword to like, and then you just slide them up, and then you put the sword through. You jump up, and then put the sword down like, and then you jump up, put the sword through, and start like slamming them in the back. Along with the sword inside. The next one is Photon Dive. So this is one where you just jump up high in the air and make a sword, and then slam the sword down into the ground, creating some aura and massive energy and massive damage. The third one is like where it takes you to the map. It's a one shot. It's fun. So you just grab this guy and then slam him up in the air, and then you follow him, and then you hit him, and the dummies and your enemy starts falling and hits us and lands on a building. Then you just come down, slamming him into the city, and then you just come back. Floating like come back, float real good, like aura, bro. Anyways, the fourth one is missiles. And unfortunately, there's no finishers. There's also interactions with the Iron Giant, but I can't really do that. Anyways, that's it for all. See you guys next time.